Welcome to the KeyBored podcast, everybody. Three bored friends gathered around a virtual table to discuss a variety of tech and entertainment topics along the never-ending quest to find the key to solving boredom. I am one of your hosts, Ryan. Joining me are co-host Bailey. Bailey,
Yeah.
say hi.
Uh, hello. I said
Your
hello.
mic didn't pick
Didn't
it
go
up.
through.
You're
I
too
said
far
it so
away. You're
loud.
too far away from your
Cole.
mic. Hello.
Oh my god, it was exactly the same as the last time. Oh my god.
I've
Thank
been
you guys, and
practicing.
welcome to episode 2 of our podcast. You can also catch us streaming this podcast live on Twitch at twitch.tv/keyboardpodcast. Or if you want to catch us afterwards on the the podcast services and also on YouTube. If you like what you're hearing, please give us a like, a share, and a subscription. Follow whatever you got. It'd be great. So let's screw these intros.
And we wanted to start off loose. We sure did that.
Absolutely. This is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you, Bailey.
Yeah,
So-
thank you, Bailey's mic, for not picking up Bailey's hello.
Is it still? I don't know.
No, you're good.
We're just gonna have to edit that in again. Take the exact same hello from last week's too.
No, I'm gonna leave it, dude.
Jeez.
I'm gonna leave it.
You're
why not?
going to have to be honest. Otherwise, it's going to be very awkward. Like, what? She said hi. I don't get it.
Yeah. All right. So we actually have some cool crap to talk about.
Yeah, this week has been pretty crazy for gaming stuff.
It's huge for me as a very, very long time Battlefield fan.
Yep.
Very long. So huge news there. There's also some like shitty news out there in the gaming industry, so we're celebrating, and then we're also kind of like WTF.
Yeah,
right?
some things that we would like to address.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, so let's get started with Battlefield. That's what's first.
Yep.
Amazing
It's
news.
big.
So Battlefield Portal was announced, and if you guys don't know what Battlefield Portal is going to be one of the most customizable experiences you're going to find in multiplayer sandboxes. It looks amazing. What do you guys think? First impressions.
I am very excited because, like you, I've been a Battlefield fan for a very long time, and to see that they're listening to the community when it comes to like going back and kind of rehashing some old content, but making it fresh and making it new in this way is fucking incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't
Bailey, what do you
played.
got?
Yeah, I was gonna say I played Battlefield 4. I have a few other Battlefields because they've been free recently through. I think Amazon Prime's doing I think Battlefield 1 at the time we're recording this. Battlefield 1 and then Battlefield 5. It's gonna be free later, but I've played Battlefield 4 recently. It's been a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people, along with you guys, who are big fans of Battlefield and think that this new sandbox thing is awesome. You can do as less as you want and as most as you want. You can have knives against freaking defibrillators, or you can just have vanilla maps, hardcore, like you usually do. So I think it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing for anyone. I think you can do whatever you want with it. If you just want an authentic Battlefield experience, you can have that. If you want craziness, you can do that as well. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it seems like there's not a whole lot of limitations with what you can and can't do with Portal. It's got a lot of crazy in-depth features. Like even the stuff with the AI, like how customizable the AI can be in Portal is really impressive.
Yeah, and this is some of the footage here playing on for our live stream audience. Playing in the background is a little bit of the teaser that was available to everybody to follow along. I think it's absolutely nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't. I mean, as far as like a AAA title having this kind of customization, like, what do you guys what comes to mind for you guys? Like, is it? I think Halo was one of the first to really do it like crazy.
Yep.
As far as sandbox, but what I mean, anything else?
I guess probably GTA 5 might be the only other thing that probably comes to mind with like pretty in-depth customization, because like you can do some pretty crazy stuff on GTA 5 as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think GTA 5 is really going to even be able to touch what Battlefield Portal is going to be able to do, because like I said, Battlefield Portal is really in depth. Like you can like rewrite scripts and stuff for whatever
That
you
was
want.
nuts. That I don't get into that, but that was nuts, dude. That
Hmm.
really put it over the edge for me. Um, if anyone else listening to the podcast is a Battlefield fan, I was a little disappointed personally that Battlefield 2 was excluded from this, because Battlefield 2 was a very important. It was the first modern game, and they kind of did not give it any credit whatsoever. I know there's a lot of other modern games there, but they should have maybe given like a map or something as a salute.
Yeah,
But that's me being a purist, you know.
yeah, I could kind of see why though, to an extent, because I think with correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't personally play Battlefield 2, but wasn't Battlefield 2 like very much more large, almost like Arma Light in the sense where it's more simulation esque instead of where
No, no,
no?
no, not at all. No, no, no. It there were mods for it. Um, the realism mod was one of them. Project Reality, I believe, was
Okay.
the big one. Um, that was the huge one that really did make it realistic, where probably inspired a lot of like Squad and stuff like that. Like I would say Squad is probably hugely influenced by that. Squad is an online tactical shooter, for those that don't know, on Steam, that is super realistic, along there with Arma, another realistic simulation game.
I was reading on I think I have the Polygon article pulled up. It's just more, I think they're doing it as more of just like a free kind of to everyone, because you don't need a copy of Battlefield 2042. You can just, you can get it created in the portal and you can share it to others through a code, so you don't need to spend the $60 to get Battlefield 2042. You can just use it. But anyone can use
Hmm.
it. So I think that's also pretty cool to reach, you know, a lot, like a large community, and to like as like an ode to their fans kind of after all these Battlefield games.
Yeah, and even though it's
I lost the other one actually. Okay,
if it's
sorry.
not like necessarily part of Battlefield 2042, it is still going to be supported with the dedicated servers from EA and DICE. So it's really cool to see that they are going to be given this their full support, instead of just kind of being like, oh, it's here, but it's here.
Yeah, in this Polygon article, Polygon.com, written by Michael McWhorter, uh, where we're referencing this article here, for most of the information that we've come across: the script building, weapon customization, all that sort of stuff. All that was referenced here.
Mhm.
I
But
think
the level of content is actually pretty impressive as well. Because if you guys saw the video that I posted in the Discord, it all the stuff that I listed off from what they're bringing from the other games, like 1942, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3, it's a lot of content that is going to be coming out. Just from all the weapons, the gadgets, the vehicles, all that stuff is going to bring a lot of fresh content to Portal.
it's also nice
I
that they're
can't wait.
adding. Oh yeah, I also think
Sorry,
it's
I can't
cool
wait.
that they're adding. I think another cool part about the new Battlefield is like 128 players, huge maps. I know it's not necessarily accessible to like absolutely everyone, but for most, like we're all like PC gamers, and like the
Mhm.
newer consoles will have it too. But I think it's cool that they're adding, the bigger maps, larger player counters and stuff, to this, and not just keeping it, no Battlefield 2042 coming into this, because it's just for everyone. So I think that's cool. I'm excited for the 128 players too. That'll be cool.
Well, the 128 players is going to be PC only. It is going to be limited on consoles to 64 players.
Except for PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
Yeah, the new consoles can do the big
Yeah.
servers.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I did
Yep.
not hear that. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna do the big ones. Because they can handle it. I mean, they're better than most of the PCs they're gonna be playing the game anyways.
Yep.
Um, I'll let this die afterwards. Though the only thing about this whole customization thing in Battlefield 2, why it's so important to me. Back then, you had custom servers like crazy that were all tweaked and stuff like that. Not to this level of detail. Obviously, technology is vastly improved, but that's really, as a Battlefield fan, where it was. Those custom servers being able to play. I can name a few of them, but that's where it started. So I'm glad they brought it back. First and foremost, I'm glad they brought it back. I'm super stoked for this. It is going to be the most amazing thing to happen in multiplayer, period, in a while.
Mhm.
I think this could be a sandbox like mold for a lot of other game developers to look at and be like, well, shit, they actually did it right. And I hope they do it right. I hope it isn't like glitchy as shit. And I don't think it will be.
Yeah, but it's also web based as well. So that means that if they want to add stuff, it's not like it really needs to be a whole huge patch that you have to download either. So that's
Yep.
a pretty cool level of support. So that way it doesn't keep eating away at your storage space like Warzone.
Yeah, no, Warzone. We all know about that.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Warzone's just Warzone is Warzone. But yeah, Battlefield 2 also web-based application.
Yep.
They did it all there. But I'm done with it. I'm done talking about Battlefield 2. I'll fuck off with it. I'm done.
Nobody cares.
Anything else? I mean, you guys want to bring up about it? I mean, it is a big deal, but
No, that's kind of it. Although I will say, as an additional point, not only are they going to be bringing back old maps, they are going to have newer maps from 2042, I believe, as well, unless they're making these maps separate for Portal. But not only are they bringing back older maps, but they are modernizing those maps as well for modern destruction, and they're also going to have the weather effects and whatnot. So it's really cool to see that they decided to go that extra level of detail with modernizing and supporting those older maps.
I love that part. I mean, Wreck-It Carcade would have been great. All right, I'm done. Promise. Anything else you want to add, Bailey?
I just saw. I don't know if this was a given, but it also has crossplay. I think crossplay is pretty cool. I think they're making it easier for it to be more balanced between, PC. The biggest part about why there wasn't crossplay earlier, besides companies being in a feud, but the difference in not necessarily skill, but like aim assist compared to like a mouse. I think they've gotten that a lot closer, and there's plenty of, because like Warzone's crossplay, and there's plenty of controller players that are way better than a lot of PC players, and like the other way around. So I think it's cool that crossplay or cross-plat play has come a long ways, and we can actually have it in all of our games. That's cool that they'll have it in 2042 as well.
Yeah.
I'm always a big supporter of crossplay. We should all play together and love each other, shouldn't we?
At least where it fits.
Oh my god, Cole. That's why you're here. That's it.
What? I'm talking about like Siege. You can't throw console players against PC players on Siege. Where is your mind at? God, this guy.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. All right.
Hey,
So
like
the next-
you want loose, you got loose, buddy. Here we go.
Oh,
You
hey.
got loose.
Hey, it shows that we're people, All right. So, next up, Netflix talking about trying to do games and trying to not fail like everybody else is seeming to do with streaming video games, except for Microsoft. So Netflix wants to do video gaming, and We have an article from CNET by Joan Solzman, and it is about Netflix trying to be cool and get into the market for like Amazon Luna, the Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate. They want to start streaming games, and what do you guys think? I'm kind of, you're
I
gonna do you.
Yeah, I think the reason that they got into this, I've heard from a few places, but during the pandemic, a lot of people staying at home, a lot of people, have time to like watch a show on Netflix or whatever. So now that it's, people are getting out, people going back to work, out of their house, they're losing a lot of people on their subscriptions and stuff. And in order to try and bring some people back, I think they're starting with more mobile games, and stuff, but at no extra cost. So I think that's, important to just test it out with no cost. I don't think, having to put a cost on it. And I think I also read that they're not going to have any in-app purchases, necessarily either,
Mhm.
which it's just in-app purchases can get. I've played mobile games for quite a bit, but the in-app purchases can get, even in PC games, there's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, but with mobile games, it almost seems like the games are designed to try to push those microtransactions with certain caps or
Yeah.
grind. Just you need to grind the games ridiculously in order to reach a certain level. But
Mhm.
I'm just not entirely sure why Netflix is doing this in the first place. I guess they just have so much money, they're just willing to throw it anywhere. But But I mean, hey, if they have a certain vision, a certain direction that they want to go with this, more power to them. But starting off with mobile games, it's kind of weird because I'm not sure how many people are out there that are like, oh, now I can play my favorite Brick Breaker 3 mobile game. Yes.
Brick Breakers.
Yeah, I'm I'm just not entirely sure why Netflix is doing this,
Well, I'll
but
tell you why Netflix is doing this, Cole, because the gaming industry, as I put a little note in here, is a economic powerhouse. The article quoted out here says a surge in interest during the pandemic last year bolstered into a bigger market than movies and North American sports combined. The global market for video games is estimated to be worth nearly 178 billion last year and is expected to eclipse 200 billion by 2023. That's why.
okay, I fair, but but are they really going in the right direction though by starting off with mobile games? Because who really has a fucking interest in
it's
mobile
the
games nowadays? Other than the 7-year old at the playground, you got mobile games on your phone?
if I'm if I'm sticking to the monetary point of the article, it's because you're already a giant. You're one, you're Netflix. You already have a name, and two, the easiest way to make money is to create a I don't know, not an inferior product because I don't want to like knock anyone's work that they do, but create a simple, quick game with add-ons. Candy Crush Saga, anybody like that? It's the easiest market to do it. PUBG Mobile, like you make whatever game you want, but they're gonna do it because it's quick development for a simple platform and simple profit because everyone has their credit card attached to their phone nowadays. You
Yeah,
know,
that's very
Yeah.
true.
but maybe there are. I doubt it, but there maybe there are some good intentions. Like, hey, let's make gaming more available to everyone. I'm sure someone had a nice, lovely vision over there, and I could probably do more homework, but I don't have time for that. This is the hobby. As you can, hey, um, yeah, maybe someone did have a good vision though about the Netflix, um, like the greater good of gaming for everybody. Because I mean, here's what actually Courtney brought this up. Do you think this could be a possibility, you guys, where they could be like, hey, Netflix is all encompassing on all devices already for movies, right? Now it can be all encompassing and you can stream, say, a PlayStation game on an Xbox and vice versa, because it's technically just streaming through the internet as a video, sort of ish, right? The input's there from a controller, it doesn't care where. I mean, could you do that?
I think the problem with like streaming like a PlayStation game on the Xbox is you're gonna have like rights and copyright issues with that, because I doubt Sony is going to give their rights away for God of War to be able to be streamed or played on just any platform. But
Yeah.
but that could be a possibility, I guess, for just like a general cloud streaming service that we've had before, like with Stadia, which is I believe that's Google's cloud streaming gaming service, where you can say play a game on your console and then continue playing that on your phone or any other device that you want to play that game on.
Yeah, that I think on Stadia, I'm not sure if anyone's heard of Genshin Impact, but they did it
A
out
Mhm.
through
little bit.
Stadia. It's a I played it a little bit. It's pretty cool. It's came back a little bit. They came out with like a big update. Some people, Tens from Valorant has been playing it a little bit. But yeah, it's like a mobile app end game, but then you just play on your phone, and then it's cloud saves. You pick it right back up on your computer. I don't think this could work for all games, but I think some games could introduce this a little bit. With like nice mobile games, to get people to play the game more. When you get people to play the game more, people might spend more money and stuff. But it's also nice to have, you're bored somewhere, you have something to play on your phone that's also something you're invested on your computer. So I feel like if Netflix got into like, here are these mobile games, or like mobile games based on their like original movies or something that they can make into like, you could make like Stranger Things into like a sort of like a Last of Us game, and then it's kind of like it's like tied in with Netflix, but also a cool game, something people are interested in. I feel like it could go somewhere. I also like that it's free, that there's like no in-app purchases. But I
Mhm.
feel like they're also kind of trying to follow in Amazon's steps a little bit. Amazon's really big in the gaming stuff. They came out with New World recently, which has, I think they helped like develop that. And it's blown up. Everyone's playing it. They also have like Twitch Prime. They have, all of those Twitch benefits, or Twitch Amazon benefits that you get. Log in, you can get $1,000 on GTA or whatever. So
Yep.
I think Amazon's done it in a nice way, and it'd be cool, I guess, if Netflix could do something similar to that. Maybe expand a little bit in the right ways.
Yeah, I think you brought up a actually pretty interesting talking point. There is Netflix could possibly do like their own series or movies as a video game, because let's be honest, a Stranger Things video game would actually be pretty cool.
I don't think they could do it with all of their
Yeah.
series, but I think Stranger Things.
Yeah, I think Stranger
Yeah.
Things is probably like the easiest to possibly turn into a video game and market. Like, I don't know if you guys remember the Telltale games, like the Walking Dead series, which are basically like they're sort of like interactive cutscenes essentially, where you go around and you have the dialogue options whenever you're talking to somebody. But Telltale, their biggest one was the Walking Dead one that they made. But if they did something like that with Stranger Things, I think that would actually be pretty cool. I think that would probably be one of the most interesting ways that they could implement a Stranger Things video game.
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I don't know if I'd play it myself, because I mean I'm a simp and I play shoot games. But but yeah, I think it'd be cool. I did have one other question to bring up to you guys, bring it to the table. So Netflix originals there's good ones, and then there's every other one. Um, so do you think that it would suffer from the same thing where Netflix does the Netflix conglomerate, where they just spit out tons of video games, and a lot of them will be some part, and there's just that one that everyone wants to play? just to see if they can like get whatever they can, falling from the sky.
Possibly, but I guess the plus to Netflix, if they go with the market that they're kind of setting, is if they're doing this, then it won't be at any additional charge. So people could try the games if they wanted to without having to worry about buying the game and then essentially being stuck with it. So I think it allows trial running games to be more accessible and just allows more people to adventure into a new game.
True,
Yeah, I
true.
think it's
Yeah.
definitely necessary that they're free, especially for a company that's never made video games before. I forgot who they hired. They hired a few people from a few different like video game companies. It might have been like EA and Origins or something like that.
EA
They
and
hired some
Oculus.
Oculus, yeah.
Yes.
I knew it was an O, but I mean, it's they're going for it. They have the right people, and I think as long as it's not like a new Candy Crush and actually like a new original game. A lot of games, mobile games now, are just like copies of each other, and they're like a little bit different. If they're new original games, that are like different, or they're gonna bring something new to like mobile gaming and stuff, bring in some new ideas. I think that'll get people to enjoy it, and maybe it'll become something. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll go somewhere, and we'll be hearing a lot more about it coming up.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, we personally don't know enough about it, so we'll just have to wait and see what direction Netflix takes this.
I think we'll be hearing about it quick. They got massive resources over there.
Yeah.
Any new jobs for everybody, I guess, right?
Yeah, that is true.
All right, then this is I just want everyone to know in advance, today's podcast is very gamer centric because there's a lot of gaming news going on that doesn't always make it to like the mainstream. One of our topics did, definitely, but just we will talk about other things, is what I'm trying to say. Just today is a little heavier on games than normal, as in like everything is games. So we do have up next is Steam Deck, which is awesome.
Yep, Steam's venture into the handheld gaming world.
Exactly. Cole, go ahead, if you have it up. Why don't you go ahead and take the lead on it? Why don't you go ahead and read a little bit of article stuff here if you want to point out something you like?
Well, yeah.
You have it up?
I don't.
Get it. Sorry, I put you on the spot, dude. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. But yeah, like I said, the Steam Deck is Steam's venture into the handheld gaming world. It's a new product that they are hoping to begin shipping in December later this year, 2021. And they have a couple different versions at a few different price points. They are releasing a 64 gigabyte version, which is the base version, for $400, a 256 gigabyte version for $530, and a 512 gigabyte version for $650. So, what's that?
So small.
Yeah,
The size.
that is very true. But the more expensive versions of the Steam Deck, which would be the $530 and the $650 versions, are going to have a support for NVMe drives, so you could possibly upgrade the storage. Although I think Steam they're kind of advising against that, probably just because they don't want people tearing apart the system and possibly ruining something, or incompatible drives, something with that. Steam is kind of saying it's a feature, but we don't want people to do it, essentially.
You know what? If I own one of these things, I'm gonna tweet the fuck out of it if I can. Like,
I can.
like, why not? I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want with one of these things. It's literally just a Pornhub freaking player in your pocket.
Yeah, which is also a cell phone. I mean, come on.
True. This one just happens to play Call of Duty in case you don't want to get caught.
Yep, that is true. But
You just alt tab real quick.
Alt tab on your gaming device.
Yeah, I don't know what alt tab would be on the Steam Deck, but what do you think about this whole thing, Bailey?
I person who owns a Switch, and there have been a lot of games. You know, the first I'm looking at the PC Gamer article. One of the pictures, by Valve is them playing Stardew Valley on their Steam Deck, and you could play that on your Switch. And I feel like a lot of people also have Switches. I just think it'll be interesting. A lot of companies have made like versions of their game, the same game, optimized for the Switch. And I'm not sure if that's going to be happening with the Steam Deck, or if they're just, you can play this game on this and you just basically change the aspect ratio and there it is. No other difference. It's basically like playing a controller on there. But I'm not sure if they're making certain games, if it's just going to be like, oh, you can't play these games because they require too much, like physical processing.
From what I've heard, because of the resolution, I mean, it is going to downscale some stuff, but it was kind of weird. I think it had a higher frame rate at a higher resolution when it was docked. Whenever it runs it on the screen, it kind of got a little funky.
Oh, you're talking about the Switch right now?
No.
Oh, the Steam Deck?
Yeah, Steam Deck. It gets a little funky, they said. But it might be because it's trying to downscale. I don't think these games are actually. Obviously, right now they aren't. I think they will probably optimize releases for it, especially like, Valve exclusive games will definitely be optimized for it. But I think they're playing games that are as is right now that are within reason and within spec, which is this is still pretty damn good specs.
Yeah.
There are limitations.
Yeah, I also think that with the Steam Deck, it's probably going to be marketed more towards single player gaming experiences. I doubt somebody's going to be sitting on the bus and they're going to be trying to load up a game of PUBG. But because of that, with single player games, they are more optimized to an extent. Doom is a good example of their optimization. It can run on damn near anything. But I think with the specs, they have some pretty powerful specs. We'll get into that in a little bit here. But I think in terms of optimization, I don't think they're going to have too many issues, unless, like Ryan brought up with the docking situation. But I think probably one of the biggest things for the Steam Deck is it's actually a Linux based software that they're running on. It's not Windows based, so they are already seeing limitations with that when it comes to some online multiplayer games because of their anti-cheat software not wanting to run on a Linux based operating system.
Vanguard would not run on that.
Yep.
I think that was one of the examples. Actually, was Vanguard sure as shit won't run on that because of how intrusive that already is to a Windows operating system.
Yep.
I don't know what they're gonna do about that. Someone said that you can install Windows on it. Is that even? Did we talk about that? Did I miss that?
I personally didn't see anything about it, but
see that you can install Windows, but it says you can play Windows games that don't have Linux support. Because
it'll run through, like, Steam will launch the game and manage it, I think. Probably. But I mean, these are the specs right here. I mean, pretty good.
Yep.
I mean, of
I assume
Quad-core,
that
8 threads.
yeah. So let's just run through the specs really quick. So the
Yeah,
CPU,
go ahead, dude.
it's AMD Zen 2 CPU architecture. So that'll be Ryzen 3000 series. 4-core, 8 threads, running anywhere from 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz. So 4-core, 8 threads might be like a Ryzen 3, I think. Actually, I don't even know if the 3 is 4-core, 8 threads. Anyway, it's fairly recent CPU architecture. GPU is running on AMD's RDNA 2 architecture. It's going to have 16 gigabytes of low profile DDR5 memory. The display is a 7-inch LCD touchscreen. Touchscreen is going to be a pretty nice feature for that. But the resolution is a little funky. It's 1280 by 800 resolution, and it will be running at 60 hertz.
You know, it's kind of Switch level, right? Like as far as resolution, and or Switch even higher.
Well, I don't have a Switch, so I personally
Really?
don't know.
You remember what it is by chance?
I can look it up here.
Up and use our big
'Cause
brains and try to figure it
I-
out. But I think it's close. I think it's close. It's not. I think it's 7. So it's 720p. I think that's what the Switch outputs natively on its main display. I think it is.
It's a 20 or 1280 by 720
Okay,
for the
so
Switch.
it's
So yeah, that's a
slightly
little funky.
higher, but it's 1280 by 800. I don't know why they wouldn't just go with a 1280 by 720 20p display.
Oh, it's 1280 by 720. The Switch is, but yeah, I'm not sure why Steam Deck wouldn't just go with a
I think it's close. I think it's
simple
close enough.
resolution. Maybe
Yeah,
it is.
maybe they just did the 800 so they could be like, oh, we're better than the Switch.
I do overall like the idea. Like the whole thing is great because PC gamers don't really have like mobile option yet.
No,
And this is
unless
the
you,
start.
yeah, the only option I guess is a cloud streaming service, but even then, it's no, a lot of them aren't really great experiences.
Coming from someone who traveled a lot and I gamed on a laptop primarily, like it would have been nice to have something on the plane, of course, but even in the hotel room, if I could just dock something to the freaking hotel TV,
Yep.
like that would be huge. So I think that people who travel a lot will obviously get this, but then people who want to nerd out and make like a local hotspot and just chill in a park and play games, it provides more flexibility to PC players, so we're not, you know, stereotyped as like just sitting on your ass all day playing those damn video games.
Yeah,
Would
now we can
someone-
walk through a
At least
park
I'm
and play video
outside.
games.
Yeah, at least I'm walking outside and walking into fucking trees, you know, playing video games this time. You can't criticize me now. I got a bruise from a tree. I went outside.
Would someone who owns a Switch buy this, and why? Do you think?
Go ahead, Cole.
That's going to be tricky because one of the big draws for a Switch is their games. You know, people love Nintendo games. So I think if somebody who owns a Switch would buy this, they would also have to be fairly invested in PC gaming as well. Especially when it comes to a lot of the games that PC has that you can't have on the Switch, like say Left 4 Dead, Doom, Witcher, all those titles that you could probably play on this play on the Steam Deck.
Sorry there. I'm choking and dying on water here.
Yeah, but gamers need to go out and play their games more.
I, as a Switch owner myself, I would get it. I don't know if I will right away. I tend to want to lean to like wait towards the second generation, but that could be years. I think I'm okay with waiting though. I don't really need to play my computer on the go right now.
Okay, but here's the
Wouldn't be for me
question.
just yet.
Here's the question for you, Ryan. You said that you're a Switch owner, but you probably would get this, but you're also a pretty avid PC gamer. Would someone who is not really an avid PC gamer, but owns a Switch and likes gaming on a Switch, be interested in getting something like this?
I think that someone that is interested in possibly going over to the PC side of things could use this as a nice transition tool, an expensive tool at that, but like you could be like, oh well, what's on PC, and then someone would be like, oh, I have all these games. Well, I like this game from the Switch. Pick any one of them. But another thing is too familiarity. Yeah, you have to buy it again, but like Stardew Valley is available on both. That could be something that like a familiar point that you can go back and grab that game as your like safety blanket or whatever you want to call it. Go play it, and like, look, oh, I have Stardew Valley on here. All right, and then oh, hey, what's available in the Steam store? Holy crap! I heard that game was good, but I never had a chance to play it. The Steam store possibilities are endless, and that's I think why I think someone should go get one.
You
Like,
pretty much
it'll open up so much.
you pretty much took the answer that I would have given myself to that question right out of my mouth. With the if somebody was interested in the PC market, they might pick something up like the Steam Deck, because it is that kind of point of familiarity with having a mobile handheld device that you could take anywhere you want to go. But now you also are opened up to a whole new market of games.
That's the market alone in Steam is huge, and if it's the full market, pretty much. I mean, we saw the article, not this article, but there are limitations. I think there was a second article up there that mentioned limitations of it. Cooperate is so Dead by Daylight's not going to run on it.
Yep.
So we're a little bit limited. I
Yep,
mean, Bailey,
but
even with limitations, would you recommend this thing to somebody? Like,
Would I recommend it to someone? It depends. It's the Switch games. Switch has become a huge thing over the pandemic. They're always sold out. It's even still. So like lots of people own this, and I feel like the amount that it combines with PC games, like you can play Minecraft and Overwatch and some Monster Hunter games. You can play Fortnite and Rocket League, and there's a lot of like Steam games that have been optimized for the Switch that you can play on it. And how much it's overlapped, I feel like there's only a few games, depending, that I would, want the Steam Deck for. And in that case, I would just play them on my computer. I don't know if I'd want two of devices that are similar. I don't know if I want to buy a device just to play 3 or 4 games that I can't play on the Switch. But in another case, it's like, well, you'd only have to buy the game once to play it on your PC and your Steam Deck, I think, because it goes through your Steam library. Or am I wrong about that?
That's what I
thought.
You were right. Yeah.
So in that
that would
case,
have to tie in.
Someone who doesn't own a Switch, yes, I would get this. I love my Switch for being able to go places or play with friends, and I feel like a Steam Deck kind of offers that. But if you don't want to spend Nintendo games $60, which is the same as full price games, if you own a lot of games, you don't want to buy a Switch and buy more games, I think this is like a great option. But I'm not sure if a lot of Switch owners will buy both, but maybe.
I think the prices generally are. I mean, there's a lot of deals on the Switch store, but I think prices generally are lower on the Steam store. Plus, there's more games available. I think.
yeah, all the
shot. It's the largest gaming collection anywhere.
yeah, and also like all the sales that the Steam store is known for, like the Steam Summer Sale, for example.
Madness every week.
Yep. But I also kind of wanted to expand on that question a little bit, Ryan. Let's say there's someone who doesn't own the PC, doesn't own the Switch, but they're interested in either the Steam Deck or the Switch. Which one would you recommend?
Oh, Honestly, probably if they don't have either, I'd probably say Nintendo Switch.
All right.
Ease of use. It's super user friendly.
But who's to say that the Steam Deck won't be?
I mean, have you looked at it though? I mean,
Just from
the controller. I personally don't like the controller. I think the controller options. I mean, you can get an external controller, I'm sure, obviously, and hook it up via because this thing has Bluetooth. It does have Bluetooth audio. That's
Mhm.
important. But I think that the Switch's ease of use would be the better way to go. I
Okay.
think this still requires a little bit of know-how. It's not going to be as user friendly. I don't think it'll be close because like they're doing away with big picture and kind of making like this whole thing within the Steam, this whole new Steam UI. So I mean, yeah, it's yet to be seen if it'll be user friendly. But I think Switch and Nintendo as a whole have their whole ecosystem down pat. Where this is a new venture, I think I would rather see someone have a more enjoyable experience on a Switch.
Okay.
I agree with that. I think if you haven't played, any console or, your first thing you're getting is either a Steam Deck or a Switch, I would say Switch. But if you have a PC or like I want to play mobile games, do I get a Steam Deck or a Switch? I would say Steam Deck. Just because you already have the games, it's easy to play all your favorite games on the go and stuff like that instead of like a Switch buying all the new games. If you don't like, I feel like Nintendo games, I mean, I love all the Nintendo games. We just got Nintendo, the Mario Golf. It's been fun. But if you don't like those kind of games, you're just like first person shooters, rawr, then probably Steam Deck.
Although to be
There
fair,
are-
Bailey, you sort of contradicted the point that you made earlier about why you wouldn't get a Steam Deck or recommend a Steam Deck. Because if someone already has a PC, why would they want the Steam Deck if they can already play the game on the PC? Whereas with a Switch, they have a new library of games to play as well as the mobile handheld experience.
It depends if you want to play your favorite games that you love on the go, or if you want to play. It depends on if you're a Nintendo fan or not. That's like if you're a Nintendo fan, because you can't play Nintendo, but most Nintendo games like on your computer or whatever. If you're a Nintendo fan and you grew up with Nintendo like me, the Switch was like a no-brainer. But if you grew up playing all the Black Ops games and like COD and stuff instead of Nintendo, because I grew up with like the Wii, then Steam Deck for like obvious reasons. It's just kind of, it also depends on how you grew up and what kind of games you like to play. It's basically more first person shooters and kind of, all those kind of PC games or
Yep.
just Nintendo Mario games. So
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest kind of divisions between the Steam Deck and the Switch is it's honestly going to be down to the games on what drives people to which system, because with Switch you're mostly limited to Nintendo games, whereas with the Steam Deck you have almost the entire Steam library available to you, other than what is not being supported right now due to the anti-cheat Linux kerfuffle that's happening with like Dead by Daylight, like Ryan had said.
and yeah, I'm assuming, and then like the aspect of just like a question about Steam Deck is playing with like friends. So it's made to be portable, but can I be in my car driving to wherever in the passenger seat, not driving, and then playing with like if you want to play like let's say Dead by Daylight becomes a thing on Steam Deck. And you want to play Dead by Daylight at your like PC, and I want to play with you on my Steam Deck as I'm driving. I probably couldn't do that because there's no Wi-Fi. So
Unless you have a car with Wi-Fi.
those were a thing for a little bit, and I think they went away again. I feel like people realize, oh, people have unlimited data now. Do they need Wi-Fi cards? But
Or
is that
mobile
still a
hotspot
thing?
from your phone.
True, but
True.
I feel like that would take up so much, and a lot of people don't have an unlimited mobile hotspot on their phone. So that
Yeah.
would take up a lot of data, wouldn't it? I think mine's like 5 gigs or something.
I think they'd
use
have
for
to
my
make us
phone.
an ad hoc network, um, like a hotspot created by like a host, and then they just connect to that via a local, like a very very limited range local area, LAN network.
Hmm.
So I think that's probably how they would accomplish that if I were to make it, but that might be tough.
Yeah,
I don't design that shit.
yeah. For me personally, if I got a Steam Deck, I probably wouldn't be using it for online gaming anyways. I'd be using it for more single player experiences. Like if I could take Left 4 Dead and play it anywhere, oh, I'd be on that shit like crazy.
Like, yeah, be on like Donkey Kong.
But
or
also
Raze. Oh.
something that is going to be kind of interesting with the Steam Deck is, we're talking about how Steam's library is very expansive, but they also don't have support for a lot of other libraries, like say the Epic Games library, so you can't play Fortnite on it. For example, whereas you can on the Switch, because Fortnite had support for Switch. And another one be Ubisoft. Because I think Ubisoft, there are quite a few games on that they have on their own store, their own launcher, that aren't available on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those games might be coming out very soon, which is X Defiant. That we'll have to see if they add support for on the Steam.
Oh, crap. I can't wait for it though. Like I'm curious to see what people say about the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to see it in people's hands. I want to see people freak out about it on Twitter and all. Of course the rumor mill is gonna spin right before it comes. As it builds up.
Yep.
Hope it isn't a cyberpunk-esque flop, because that would really suck for Steam. It would look bad.
Yeah, so if they don't hype it up too much,
I know.
then it'll be fine.
All right. The next one up on deck is,
as I had
use
mentioned,
Steam Deck, because Steam Deck, and then you up to the on deck. Okay, I'm done. Leave it alone. We have. I didn't do my homework, guys. I'm sorry. I was trying to do other stuff. I dropped the ball on this X Defiant news. So X Defiant will be handled. I'm gonna throw it to Bailey. Bailey, do you want to talk about it,
Yeah, sure. I'm not as familiar. I played some of the.
or is this a Cole thing? We can make
I,
Cole
no,
can do it.
I can do some of it. I played. It's basically like a first person shooter. It's like Tom Clancy's version of like a first person shooter, kind of Call of Duty esque a little bit with fanciness kind of game, and it's based on a lot of like there's different groups of characters that you can play. They have built in like classes based off of a lot of like the Division 2 like groups of people. So you have like the tank, like a group of people who are like tanks and like healers and more like attacking, like depending on what person you want to play, and they have all different kinds of abilities, and it's very colorful. The whole game is very, very colorful. It's different. It's similar to some games, but it's definitely they got some difference in there. It doesn't feel like you're just playing any other first person shooter. So it's a little different.
Would you draw like a comparison to like Apex as far as like its
it's
I don't
style
know,
almost.
it's still, yeah, the art style and voice styles maybe.
Not it's not like
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Borderlands,
asking.
I think might be a better
Oh, okay.
comparison.
Okay, cool.
I think that, but with like each class has its own abilities. So I think yeah.
Right.
Well, I was watching it's because like Borderlands gets a little like, you have the psychos and the whatnot. So I feel like Borderlands would be a good comparison in
In
terms
this
of art.
and the Michael McWhorter again on Polygon did a little thing about it. As far as the classes are concerned, the faction you have factions and personalized classes. So the factions are Echelon, Outcasts, Cleaners, and Wolves, inspired by other Tom Clancy games like Splinter Cell, The Division, and Ghost Recon. So they're pulling from all of, kind of like what Battlefield Portal's doing in a way, right? Kind of pulling from its history and incorporating it into like a new game.
A little bit. Yeah.
Is that the thing? Like doing a little salute to old games in 2021? or 22, whatever it's about.
Well, something that's
Yeah,
kind of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bailey.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've
Oh, here
seen
it is.
people. So I think the only thing that is out is kind of their like introduction, not necessarily gameplay trailer, but just kind of like cinematic trailer with a little bit of gameplay. I think that's all they've really released as of now. So there's a lot of people judging what the gameplay is going to be based off of from this more cinematic trailer. And I've also seen some people say that the game just looks so bad or whatever, but it's like a cinematic trailer and the beta is not even out. So I don't think we can judge exactly how the game is going to be like look like and played based off of what's in the cinematic trailer. I'd like to see some more actual like beta gameplay before I decide if I it's going to be free, so you can play it without any cost. So if I'd like to play it or not. So, yeah.
There
Are
actually
you guys
have
gonna check
been
it out?
gameplay clips posted
There have?
on Twitter. Yeah.
Well, I feel like the gameplay clips they got out of the cinematic more trailer, this worldwide review. But maybe
From what I saw, it looked like possibly alpha or pre-alpha gameplay
maybe.
that was taken. They're like fairly short, like 20 to 30-second long clips.
Yeah. But I still don't think pre-alpha. I feel like there can be such a difference, and I'm not sure. Is there a date to when this game is gonna be out? I forgot.
August 5th.
Yep.
Oh, August 5th, so it's going out pretty soon. But
Oh, that's
yeah.
a early gameplay test or
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Oh.
August 5th.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
early
August.
gameplay test. See, it's
Um,
still pretty early in development. I think they can definitely tweak some things. You know, people were complaining about the quality, but I think when the game comes out, you know, the quality and stuff will hopefully jump up
Mhm.
and be on par with a lot of the newer games coming out. So
Yeah, it's for sure going to be. It's still in the kind of early stages of its development life. But from what I had seen on the gameplay clips, is uh, I'm hoping that it kind of changes because for me personally, Siege has almost ruined me for a lot of first person games because I really like the gunfighting feel and mechanics of Siege so much. But with X Defiant, it looked a little jank, a little clunky. But I'm pretty sure that this is all going to be fleshed out as the game gets closer to its beta and full release dates.
that's what I'm hoping.
you guys are gonna get it though?
It's
free.
free. I
Yeah,
would
it's
like
free to
to.
play, so
You gonna do
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I think I'd play it if it's free. You know, if it was like a $60 game, I don't think so. Like,
No way.
I'm
No.
not. I can only play so many first person shooters, and you know, if Battlefield 2042 is gonna be coming out, like that's where I'm gonna put in my main focus. This will just be like a side kind of thing. But if it's free, then why not? Worst case scenario, you don't like it, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it would take for me to spend money right now to get me to be pulled away from to pull me away from Valorant and also keep me interested past the point of whenever Battlefield comes out. It's got to be something special. Like even
Yeah.
Halo is not like at the top of my list, and I love Halo, but uh,
A lot of
yeah,
people
it's
have
gonna be
strong
tough.
opinions about Halo. See.
A lot of people have pretty strong opinions about this too. A lot of people on Twitter are really complaining about this game, and not so much for the gameplay itself, but because they added the Tom Clancy name to the title. People are up in arms, feeling like they're defiling Tom Clancy in some way, shape, and form by
Really,
putting his name on this game.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things. I can't remember that I was watching a video earlier, but I couldn't remember what they said. But the only like true like Tom Clancy game came out like 10 years ago that was actually true to like certain things, and they're just kind of I feel like in a way they're just kind of putting the name on some games, but I hope it turns out well for the people who developed it. It seemed in another video that I watched that they worked basically through COVID to develop this game, all remote kind of stuff. So I hope it
Mhm.
ends up well.
all right. Let's move on to one of our other topics here, which is kind of like it's a big thing. We can always talk about it on other episodes. The last two are actually kind of big. articles and topics to talk about. But people getting mad about watching esports on Twitch, where there's tons of things going on right now behind the scenes of a lot of on a lot of streaming channels, platforms, social media tied to them. It's pretty ugly, and in my personal opinion, the world is full of assholes that shouldn't be allowed to post on social media anymore. Or I won't go any further than that because it sounds bad. But it's led to some people quitting streaming. There's been a couple of them doing that. But Cole, what do you got for you said we had some references here. Anything good? Anything juicy?
Nothing good, because this is probably the part of the podcast where it's going to be a little more serious, a little heavier topics, because like Ryan said, the world is full of assholes, unfortunately, and people just don't seem to like other people having the platform based purely off of shit that they can't control, like say their gender. So yeah, I am pretty big following into the Siege scene. Obviously I keep bringing it up in this podcast, but one of the casters for Siege, a female that goes by the name of Jess Goat in the scene, earlier this year, she said that she was going to be taking a break from streaming just due to all the toxicity and harassment that she unfortunately has to go through when streaming. She posted a Twitter video where she was explaining why she was taking a break, essentially. And a quote from that video says, "If you've been watching me recently, you will have seen that it's almost impossible for me to stream in the Oceanic region. Toxicity is a nightmare. If you're watching today, I got threatened with severe sexual assault. The N-word was raining left, right, and center. It's gotten to the point where I can't play this very easily on stream. It's very hard to keep it together when every game you either have someone refusing to play as a team and inciting toxic behavior. It's becoming almost impossible to stream this game without feeling like it's taking a toll on me."
It's fucked up to even have to feel like that about a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even the biggest problem. Like, sexual harassment, are you fucking kidding? Like, what kind of an asshole do you got to be to type that kind of crap to somebody? And also it's because they're anonymous, obviously.
Yep.
It's easy to be a little keyboard asshole, but it's not. I mean, she's not the only one. Remember Valkyrie? She was thinking about quitting. I don't know if you guys knew that. She may have. I don't know if she actually did stop for a period of time. And if she did, then I'd do it. Like, don't put up with that crap. Take a break. Don't let it ruin your mental health. It's not worth it. And personally, fuck those people. It's hard to ignore them.
Personally.
It's very hard to ignore them. But try your best to say fuck those people. And also, people just need to fucking change.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say something, Bailey?
Oh, yeah, yeah. But kind of bringing it back from, I would notice this a lot more of people being mad at esports casters in the Valorant kind of scene when they're doing their tournaments. They have quite a few female casters as well, which I think is awesome, who are amazing. They're so good. But it's times, things that they can't control. So, one game, I'm not sure if 100 in the Valorant scene, 100 Thieves was playing someone, and they had a huge feud, not a feud, but they were talking back and forth about, what servers they had to be on, like East or West, and they thought they could have been on East servers when the other team thought they could be on West servers. And it was this whole debacle, and Valorant got involved behind the scenes. So this happened for an hour behind the scenes. And so all of the casters and the people, kind of breaking down the matches had to basically cover up an hour of time to keep people interested instead of stopping the stream, they're like, why not keep it up? We can talk more about, different the teams and stuff. And people, they couldn't control it. It's not that they could control. And the people in the chat were just, it was bad. They're blaming the casters, they're yelling at them, they're saying this is boring, this is dumb, let us watch the game. And the casters are obviously looking at chat. I know some of them do at least, because they interact with them sometimes when there's like downtime, and it was getting bad, and nothing that they can control. They're just doing their jobs, and it's the like being anonymous on Twitch also is just, yeah, it was just bad, and I don't think they don't deserve to be treated that way. It's nothing that they could control. And people are nasty. But yeah, that's made me upset.
The women in esports broadcasting, by the way, I was talking with Courtney about this because I talked to her about all of our topics pretty much. But women casters for esports, actually, in my opinion, way better than the dudes. The dudes are boring as shit. And half the time, just having a female presence on that stage is so much better because they seem to care more. I mean, there are a lot of casters out there that care, obviously, about what they're doing. But for me, like, I don't know, I prefer having a female caster because they at least brings a different viewpoint to a very professional setting. And I actually find it refreshing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like Bailey was saying, the caster's job is not easy, especially when there is a technical difficulty like that that's completely out of their hands. They're doing the best that they can, and people are so entitled to just whatever they feel they can get, whatever they want. Like, people are saying, like, oh, just play the game, show us the game, shut up, whatever, these casters suck. They don't seem to really grasp the situation that there's a technical difficulty, there's an issue going on that they're trying to fix. The casters are there to try and keep you entertained, to try to keep interacting with you guys, yet you're taking advantage of that, and because you feel entitled to some gameplay that you're just watching. You don't have an actual stake in the game. Like, grow the fuck up. What is wrong with you people that you feel that you're so self-entitled to this shit?
I mean, most of it's games.
Mm-hmm.
Or kids. Sorry, kids. I was looking at something else. Sorry,
What?
misspoke. Most of it's kids. Sorry, I was reading like part of an article there. Most of it's kids. I mean, they're all dumb kids at one point. But were you that stupid? I mean, no, I can't.
I mean, I probably was. I was a shitty kid.
Oh, really? Oh. No, you. I don't think you would have been that shitty. That's pretty shitty. It's immature is all hell. Like,
although,
and like you said, it's tough on the casters because they're just trying to do their damn job.
Yeah. Although when I was that age as well, I didn't have Twitch. I don't even know if Justin TV back then was a thing. But yeah, it's the whole circle of people being able to be anonymous on here and have very little repercussions for their actions really just makes people feel like they're entitled to say whatever the hell they want on the internet and not have to suffer anything from it, because apparently people think that their actions don't have any meaning behind them or any consequence behind them, which is a really shitty way to look at life. Like, oh, it's just someone on the internet, grow up. Like, well, what makes you think that you have the right to hurl out sexual assault threats or racial slurs to anybody you want on the internet? Why do you feel like you're entitled to being a shitty person?
Yeah, I guess to like wrap up the esports part, I would say it's basically like, would you rather just watch the gameplay in silence and have no one hyping it up, no one saying the play-by-plays, no one saying, well, we think that they'll go this way because of this, and having the insight and stuff? It's like, would you rather just watch it in silence? I just think the casters add the casters add a lot, especially the play-by-play casters while the gameplay is going on. They're just exciting parts aren't as exciting. Best plays in a whole like esports community aren't as exciting unless you have the play-by-play casters, hyping them up, saying what's happening. It's I don't know, it's just the best, and I don't think that they should be yelled at for doing, a great job, and a job that needs to be done, a job that deserves to be done, a
Mhm.
job that needs to be done. Yeah, so.
Yeah, like you were saying, like you think that like watching the Valorant tournament and someone clutches a massive like 1v3 or something would be as exciting without a commentator. Commentators add so much to tournaments, you know?
I agree.
1,000% agree. Like, it's an underappreciated job. So stop being assholes is what we're trying to say.
Overall.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, stop being entitled little shits. And I want to hear anything about this. Oh, you wouldn't survive in the Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Bitch, I grew up in the Modern Warfare 2 lobby. It doesn't justify you being a shitty fucking person.
Yeah.
That's my backyard. That's gold.
You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it. Raised in it.
All right, let's hit up our last article, guys. We're gonna hit it and then wrap the show with this actually huge thing in the gaming community, because yeah, this is the not so good part. We're gonna end on bad news because we're gonna leave you thinking when stop listening to our podcast. This one is that Activision Blizzard has a lawsuit, and from what I'm reading, they're fucked. Like, this is bad. Lots of developers and industry advocates grapple with realities of widespread discrimination. And we're talking like discrimination on like a widespread, like we're talking sexual discrimination, we're talking harassment and hazing, pretty much.
I mean, hazing is almost putting it lightly. This is just, it's almost pure bullying at this point. What I've read and seen and heard that's been going on behind the scenes at Activision and Blizzard.
I mean, I can talk about a lot of shit, but as our voices are going out to the world here, I kind of feel disgusted even like saying some of the shit that these guys were doing. I mean, revenge porn. You fucking, like, what? Really? That's just like one of the things I just scrolled apart past. And also basically no one listening to like any sort of complaints going on. This has been going on for a long time and everyone just ignored it. Like,
yeah, like HR and higher ups at these offices not taking any of these accusations seriously, or just blowing off as, oh well, boys will be boys.
Well,
yeah.
This is mostly, just so everyone knows, this is mostly directed towards women in their work environment of Blizzard Activision, or Activision Blizzard. Sorry, you gotta swap it because that's important. They can suck it right now. I mean, Bailey, as I hate to put you on the spot, but like, as the woman of the group, I mean, this is bullshit. I mean, go ahead.
It just
vent.
made
let
me
him have it.
Sad.
Let him have it. Fuck him. Let him have it.
It's, I'm assuming, I'm not sure what their ratio of men to women in the Activision Blizzard complex is, but being a woman in any kind of video game is just hard already. And then having to get there and then be put up, I'm not saying every single or any other place besides Blizzard is like this, but it's an industry that's hard enough to get into. And then you get into it, it's like the dream job you always wanted. And then for it to just be a bunch of entitled assholes who I've seen places where they're just playing games all the time, or they're sending the work to their female counterparts and not doing their work, and it's like a frat kind of community in there where just the boys doing whatever they want, and then a lot of the girls having to do some of the work, and it's not
Also
it's
not
not
getting
good.
paid the same.
Yes.
for doing the extra work. That's huge. Not getting
Yep.
paid the same amount is fucked up. Like, I think we should be past this shit. You know, like
Yeah.
girls are in the women are in the industry. They've been here. You know? Act like you've been here before, guys. Like no joke. Like act like I do want to say like as a little like a public service announcement like um if there's a girl in your lobby, one, don't act like an idiot. It's a person. Chill. They're probably gonna beat your ass. It'll be fucking hilarious. And two, if someone's saying some dumb shit, don't be an asshole and like really come out and say some like really dumb shit, but like stand up, say something. Like if you don't like it and they're being an asshole to like a friend that's a girl in your lobby, say something if they are comfortable with you sticking up for them, of course, but don't let internet bullies like ruin your good time for you and your friends. Like say something, tell them to fuck off, and then mute them. Mute them. You know.
Yeah.
Let them sit there and have a lesser game experience. Don't let them ruin yours.
Yeah.
Do
With
not.
the whole Activision Blizzard thing, I was reading that there were male counterparts that didn't agree with what was going on, but they were afraid to speak up because of how they were viewed in the workplace or repercussions being had to them. But I think we're just at that point now where that shit shouldn't fucking matter anymore. We just gotta do better. We just gotta start standing up for against this shit, because I mean at this point with everything that I've seen and read, it makes my fucking blood boil, because how can these people act like this and call themselves men? These are fucking children. And if they find out, they get to the bottom of everything, I hope that serious action is taken. Because to bring up the point that really makes me fucking angry, I don't know if you guys saw, but in the lawsuit, they brought up how a female was pushed to the point of suicide because of sexual harassment going on, and how there were explicit photos taken of her and passed around at parties. That is inexcusable, and whoever did that is a fucking scumbag. And it pisses me off to no end that people can act like that and try to call themselves men. They're not even human. They're garbage. They're trash. They're scum of the fucking earth.
Yep. It does actually piss me off quite a bit, and it doesn't even as a white guy, like the only thing I can do in my particular situation is try to help, you know. And it is fucked up, and I hope that the gaming community responds. Bailey told me yesterday that she uninstalled Overwatch, and
It was
so
like
did
a bit of rage. I was like,
I
you
did.
know what?
Yep.
I uninstalled
I
it.
don't
Fuck
care.
it.
Yep. With
Fuck it, I don't care. I don't
Blizzard's
need it.
with Blizzard's past that they've had with other social issues, I took the same action last night. I uninstalled Overwatch and all the Call of Duty games off my computer, because
The only thing that go ahead. Sorry.
Because
My bad.
at this point it's not even so much as like talking about it. We have to show our disgust and our outrage. We have to be those people to show, to put their money where their mouth is and take action. And I refuse to continue supporting these companies.
Yeah, I hope that they can show some kind of. They better come up with a really good solution or a really good something. That it's got to be really good. Like, it can't just be a oops.
It has to be a shakeup at the chair at the board level, because this stuff
Yeah,
is allowed to exist at the board level, and they
and
knew about it.
and it's something bad when a whole like state gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like one random person being like, "Oh, it was not random," or like someone who was, put in these situations, being like, oh, this happened at this company. No, it's a whole state. And if it's a whole state, it hasn't just happened recently. It's been going on for a while. You've got to be doing something wrong if a whole state is gonna, do a lawsuit against you.
Yep.
You're not doing something right. So.
God, and the CEO apologized too, by the way. Former CEO. He failed everybody and blah 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 blah. But the terms being used is what they were doing: bullied, belittled, gaslit, or in some cases physically reprimanded for trying to complain and say something. Like, this is not good for them, obviously, but then you have other companies too. The gaming community is not looking good as a whole right now, and it hurts us because other companies out there are in deep shit because they say dumb shit like Ubisoft. Like, Ubisoft has been in trouble multiple times.
Yeah, I just hope this means
Not like
that
this.
people do better. Just do better. This doesn't need to happen. Gender doesn't need to determine skill or amount of work. I agree. Like, a certain guy can be better at something than like a girl. It's possible. People are better at things than other people, but I don't think if someone's doing the same amount of work, doing the same thing, it shouldn't matter what their gender is. I just think people need to do better. Treat everyone the same. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
We're all human.
people can be better than other people on an individual level. Your
Yeah.
fucking gender doesn't get to dictate if you're better than someone.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. It does not matter one bit, and I think that's why I love our industry so much. For the most part, I mean, this is obviously is a huge blemish. Not even a blemish. It's a shot to the chops. As a gamer, like, you want to support this stuff and be an advocate for gaming, and then this comes up, and you're like, well, shit, I thought I was doing everything right. Like, I thought we were having a good time here. Everyone was getting along, and gaming was changing. A lot of stereotypes that were out there, and then it just comes up, and it's like, oh, here's the stereotype. Now working in the gaming industry is like, now it can be viewed as working in a frat house or a factory, where you're just constantly cranking out hours of work for little pay. I think that the pay needs to be equal, and like Bailey said, just do better. Like, learn from this, and also a little bit of common sense that this shit shouldn't happen. Like, where is the common sense here?
Right, like, how would these fucking people feel if that was their daughter being treated like this? They would probably want fucking heads on pikes. I fucking want heads on pikes for this shit.
Well, there will be. I guarantee you there will be. There will
Mhm.
be. I bet you the heads have already started rolling.
Yeah. I
They're
know
rolling
it
down to your
wasn't
pikes right now, Cole. You can just get the pikes ready. The heads are rolling, dude.
the heads are rolling. But I know it wasn't everyone, but if everyone could just do a little bit better, even if it wasn't you, then that's all you need. Just do a little bit better.
Yeah,
Or a lot bit better. Or any amount better.
yeah, the thing that
And-
sucks so much is gaming is supposed to be for everyone. You shouldn't have to have a shitty day at school, a shitty day at work, and come home to relax and play a video game and have to worry about dealing with some assholes online. But then imagine how these women feel. They don't get to have that fucking break because they're dealing with this shit at work, and they can't even go home to play an online video game if they want, because they probably deal with the same shit online even.
Solid point. Yeah,
And
us is. Go ahead, baby. Sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say it's not only it's it's a lot of it's like women and stuff, but some of it's also younger kids or people who have voices that are different than Ben, who have really low voices. I've
Mhm.
also seen people. I think I was watching like Hiko stream. Hiko streams Valorant. He's like a decently big streamer. He was talking about this a lot, and a lot of people were saying like that they don't talk because they're either a girl or they're younger and they have a high pitched voice and they're gonna be treated like they were a girl even though they're not. It's not. It's a lot of the community, and I think and in that game, communication is really big, and you want people to talk, want people to say what's going on, and so I think if people were just all treated like normal
Do you
people, then
do you feel like you can't communicate in video games because of like what douchebags are gonna like pop up and say something stupid? Like, do you feel like you aren't 100% yourself when you play online?
I usually don't say anything. I'll usually say it to you guys, and then I don't know if you notice this, but Ryan, you'll usually say it to the team
I
that
relay it.
isn't.
Yeah, I do.
You do a lot of relaying, but sometimes I will if I can gauge. Like sometimes you can gauge if people are gonna be, nice or they're gonna be not nice. You know,
Mhm.
we don't have to say the game, but we were playing a game yesterday. No, 2 days ago. Me and you, Ryan, were playing a game, and I think we had some people in some of those games that I could already tell like would not have been
Oh, Valorant?
nice. Yeah, in Valorant a few
Yeah,
days
yeah.
ago, that would not have been nice if I said anything. So sometimes if I can gauge people are like chill and I don't care, because not everyone
I
cares, and
I
it's
can
getting
see where you're
better.
coming
But
from. Like, sometimes, yeah, like I won't say something in a chat in like in-game team chat in Valorant because I don't want to deal with the shitter on the other on my team that's gonna say something and
yeah,
annoy me. So I generally let it go. But if it gets out of hand, like we're gonna come in swinging with a big daddy D. You know what I mean? We're gonna put him down.
Put 'em
Let
into
him know like
place.
what's up. Yeah, let him know what's up. Now, is it conducive to having a positive environment? No, but they're uh say your I would like just say like I'll say my piece and then mute. Doesn't need to continue. Tell them they're a piece of shit. I guess make me feel better about myself or something. I don't know, or stick up for a friend. But I'm just gonna leave it. I'll leave it at that and just mute him. But it kind of sucks that you have to deal with that. Like I already know that like you deal with it. Like I can tell, but it's just bullshit. Like people need to get over the
yeah,
fact of like, but as long as little teenage boys are playing video games, we're kind of not going to get anywhere until their parents step up and actually say something. It
yeah,
isn't just little kids either.
yeah. It helps that I think
But
streamers and other bigger people that they watch are kind of getting into it of being like, hey, this isn't okay. Like we want to be able to have people talk and have like a fun time. Like you don't need to do this. And because like little kids like they grow up watching people nowadays on Twitch and stuff play games. And I think, there are more of us girls who play games than I think everyone thinks, but no one just talks because of things people say, and I just think you know people bringing awareness to it, like Hiko and other people saying like,
Lupo,
guys, like yeah, definitely Lupo
Yep.
saying like this
Dr.
doesn't
Lupo.
need to be a thing, like you can just all get along. You don't have to make fun of people just because of their voice. I think if we get through that, then yeah, hopefully it'll be better.
Have more advocates out there, like the streamers, and it doesn't have to be guy streamers that are just the advocates. It could be anybody. Like Valkyrie stands up for herself. Pokimane is a huge one that stands up for herself. She has no hesitation to say "f you."
Mhm.
We need more people like that. And if you are looking to get it more involved, go find these communities. Reach out. Our community is one of them. We're going to support everybody who wants to play games, no matter what. But find these communities. Go out there and get involved in the communities. And the more people we get involved, the more of a difference we can make to make gaming a safe space rather than a toxic place for people to just spout out whatever hatred they want to, or in especially in going back to the Blizzard article in the workplace. Let's do better. I think that should be the title of the stream, by the way.
Just do better.
Better.
Just do better.
Yep.
Like,
It's not like Nike where it's just do it. Just do better.
just do better.
Yes.
But I think we kind of have to wrap it up there, guys. We're at an hour and 30 already.
Yep.
It kind of flew by. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it flew by. So I will say thank you for everyone who stopped by on twitch.tv/keyboard podcast to take a look at us stream this live every Sunday so far until one of us has something to do
So far.
and we can't. But that was episode 2, and thank you so much for joining us. And if you're listening on podcast services, please be sure to subscribe or follow depending on which platform you're on. We're available on all platforms now, everybody. We actually got published and we're out there, so we're super stoked. that we had as many downloads as we did. If you guys listen to it on repeat, just don't tell me. It'll make me feel better. But is there anything else you guys want to wrap up with? Anything you want to say? No. Maybe.
I don't think so.
No, I think it's a good spot to wrap it up. Wrap it up on.
We'll go out and give someone a hug. Be nice to someone today, just for a second, and then you can go back to being an asshole if you want. Just be nice to someone for once.
Just
that's the message.
Spread positivity. No, the world is a shitty enough place as it is. Try to be a positive light to someone's day.
I just want to say you're all great except Cole. All right, we're out. See you guys
Later.
Yeah.